Hey everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff. Today we're taking a look at a very interesting little knife. This is the SOG cash card, as you can see prominently displayed there on the blade. Now, fun fact, I think this is actually the first SOG knife I've ever reviewed on the channel. And that is such a shame. I am very saddened that this is SOG's debut on the channel. This is not a great representation of what they can do, I hope. But we'll get into that later. This knife was sent to the channel by Old Tonto Guy, one of my channel members. Thank you so much. Without him sending this, I would never have taken a look at this knife. And that might have been for the better, but you know what? We'll let bygones be bygones. Let's go ahead and start this review. Let's measure that blade length. Sharpened edge is coming in here a little bit under 2 3/4 inches. Get here on screen. The entire blade is just pretty much in that 3 3/4, or in that 2 3/4 inch range. Definitely a small knife in many ways. Let's go ahead and get our size comparisons out here. Start off with the rats. There's the 1 and there's the 2. So yeah, it is not a very big knife. Especially lengthwise, it's not very big, but it's also probably the thinnest knife I've ever reviewed. To my recollection, this is definitely the thinnest knife I've ever reviewed. So I guess if nothing else, this video is making channel history because, you know, we're having a lot of firsts and records. All right, let's bring out our Civivis. There's the Praxis. Here's the Elementum. Yep, it's a small knife. Let's go ahead, bring out our USA made comparisons. Here's the PM2. Here's the bug out. Ta-da! All right, and let's go ahead and compare against some knives that are more its size. Let's bring out the Kershaw Mini Natrix. Love this knife. Very similar in size. Here's a knife that hasn't been on the channel in forever. The Civivi Odium. Very similar in size there. And I guess we'll bring out just 2 more here just for shits and giggles. Here is the CJRB Mica and the Civivi Baby Banter. There, finally some knives that are shorter than the cash card, but again, the cash card is considerably thinner than either of these. So a very unique knife in terms of its dimensions. What are we looking at here for materials? That is actually a great question. I forgot what the blade is. Let me look that up. All right, yeah, so it's 8CR13 on the blade. I can't remember if it was that or 5CR. I did look this knife up on Blade HQ, and now I'm depressed because, oh my gosh, the prices they're asking. But there are different versions. This is the kind of most basic version. You can also get a black, a gray, and a red handle. The handle is steel. It is a frame lock. There's your clip, and it's it is running on bronze washers. So let's go ahead and go cut some stuff. Guys, I've done some review cutting for some really weird knives today. And I hope you're ready because this might be the weirdest one. I just heard a fish jump. The SOG cash card. Oh my goodness. What a knife. This is one of the knives that exists. Let's go ahead and start talking about it. So, let's start off with that action. I have learned that you can actually reverse click this knife, and this is the most satisfying way to open it. Actually, that's a lot of fun. It even makes a cool little sound. Oh yeah, Blade is about as loose as you can get. Maybe I'll tighten that up and maybe the action will go away. I don't know, but this is how I've been carrying it for the last couple of days while I've been using this. The action is interesting. You can slow roll it with your thumb. I haven't been able to really thumb flick it. Maybe like that, but that felt super sketchy. The action is kind of there. It is on like phosphor bronze washers, which is cool. And yeah, I'm sure if I tightened it up, it would still be flickable, because this does feel even looser than it has while I've been carrying it. So I think it's just loosened up over my use. I didn't check that before I came out today. I don't think I've got any Torx bits in the truck right now, but there we go. It has an action. Let's talk about the ergonomics, or rather the lack of. Look how thin that is. Look at how thin that is. Look. I really want you to look. It does have these little finger wells that don't work the best for my fingers. There's where my fingers go. My pinky just kind of hangs off the end here. I've just been kind of cramming my whole hand on there. Digs in quite a bit back there. You see that? Not an ergonomic legend. We'll say that. How's it carry? Well, it weighs basically nothing. It's thinner than most anything else. Tip down carry clip, right side only. I mean, you wouldn't even notice that you have a knife with you. So I guess if that's what you're after, that's cool. Obviously, it's supposed to be like a money clip, card clip type of thing. Right? Let's go ahead and cut some stuff. Clip point blade here. I forget what steel it is. We'll talk about that at the table. It is very thin blade stock. Actually, it does utility cuts fairly well, so yay. Let's get the rope out here. Oh! Oh, that took a little bit. Wow. Ouch. Ouch. All right. Let's see. Wow, it actually did. Wow, like stupid good on the rope. That is shocking. Wow, I was not really expecting that for such a thin blade, but okay. All right. Interesting. Let's get the pool noodle out here. Let's see what we do here. All right. So, despite having a very, very thin blade stock, I was not able to go all that thin before I started just ripping and wedging that pool noodle. And as a result, we actually got some kind of goofy cuts. Look at that. It's kind of jagged, a little bit weird. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Kind of, yeah. All right, there we go. Performance, I would say it's, all things being said, kind of average, kind of middling. All right, let's get back to the table, shall we? It's a damn good throwing knife.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get into what I don't like and what I hate about this knife. I'm just kidding. We'll start off with positives. Before we get into that, you guys might have noticed I've got some new decorations here on the table, including these origami dinosaurs. These were made for me by my good buddy Vuong. So he's probably watching. So Thank you, Vuong. These are now part of the Gideon stuff set. Got some other cool things out here now. Big old quartz crystal I found. Pretty beautiful. Brachiopod fossil I found the other day. Nice little quartz cluster I found down in a fluorite mine. Thought it was kind of pretty, so here it is. Not the biggest or best one I have, but it kind of fits on the desk. And I've also ordered a big map, a geologic map in New Mexico. I'm thinking about hanging above my desk. And I think there's a little smaller copy of it that is going to come with a larger copy I can put kind of here in the background. I am really looking for every excuse to not talk about this knife. Oh, I don't want to talk about this knife, but okay. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Starting off with the positives. The blade could be worse. It could be worse. The clip point blade here is actually a very nice little shape. It's good for utility cuts and slicing. You do have a hollow grind here. It's super thin blade stock. So the edge angle is a little wonky, but you can probably fix that. You know, just sharpen the knife differently. This one actually has some pretty major chips in the edge, as you can see. That is because I was an idiot the other day, and I was throwing this knife. Sorry, I just had a call come in. Cancel that call. Anyways, I was throwing this knife. I'm not sure if I think I took a video or two about that. I'm not sure if I'll include it in the review. But yeah, I was being dumb. But yeah, hollow grind, pretty good shape actually. I do like this blade shape. And it's nice and thin. You can definitely get some cutting done with this thing. Access to the lock bar, I guess, is good. The action can be pretty fun if you pinch it just right and you know, that's actually kind of fun. Look at how much blade play we have here. You know what? Let's grab a tool real quick and see if we can adjust that. Doobie-doobie-doo. Okay. What is this pivot? It kind of looks like a T6, which would not surprise me. No, it's not a T6. Okay, it's a T8. All right, I was being a little bit harsh. I was making assumptions. Is it a T? Okay. T8 appears to be a little too big. Is it a T7? Who in tarnation uses T7s? Yeah, it's a T7. That's freaking weird. Okay, so let's turn that down. Oh my goodness. Oh my good golly gracious. We have, oh my goodness, that did not fix the blade play at all. Wow. Actually, maybe it's not a T7. What? Let's get that T8 out here again. That T8 just didn't feel like it was fitting in there, though. Okay, I guess it is supposed to be a T8, but man, it's a crappy piece of hardware. Let's tighten that. Okay, no blade play. Oh, and now we can't close it. Oh, and yeah, and here's the centering. Honestly, centering doesn't matter on this knife. What am I talking about? It really doesn't matter. Loosen that up just a hair. Yeah, still tons of freaking blade play. Okay, so, I mean, you just have to resign yourself to the blade play if you want this to be, you know, one hand openable easily. And with that reverse flick. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of to be expected. So I guess already we're talking about the dislikes. Let's go ahead and start off or jump into something that I really, really hate, the ergonomics. Man, this knife is the least ergonomic knife I think I've ever held. Everything about this knife just hates everything about the human hand. My fingers, I mean, I fit them in those choils, but they're not natural at all. Like that feels very, very unnatural. This little thing here is a little erg. So then I can get a full 4-finger grip on here, but now these things are poking me like in the middle of my fingers. I don't know why they did these. I think this handle would have been improved drastically. Not made perfect. I mean, you can't do it with how thin this is, but drastically, if it would have been a drastic improvement if they had just made this straight. It's so narrow, it just digs into your hand. This little corner here, oh my gosh, that is a pain. Yeah, the ergonomics just suck. And then you have this jimping on the spine here, which is very, very aggressive. Like possibly the most aggressive jimping I've ever experienced. It's bad. I'm a big fan of jimping. This stuff sucks. It's actually just as sharp as the saw on this little Ozark Trail multi-tool thing. Now, of course, this, is not necessarily the sharpest saw ever, but I bet, you know what? I can't believe I haven't done this yet. We're gonna go outside and we're gonna like saw some wood. All right, here we go. I've got this stick here. Let's use this little multi-tool thing just as a point of reference, because this thing is actually supposed to be a saw. Oh my gosh. Saws on multi-tools like these are such a bad idea. But look at that. Let's take a look there. Focus up, camera. Focus up. Decent little... Focus, you damn thing. Anyways, decent little cut. Okay, let's see what this thing does. And remember, this is the jimping. Okay, we're gonna move over here. Maybe not as efficient, but look at that. Look at that. That was done with a jimping. That's an actual saw, quote unquote saw, and that was done with the jimping on the cash card. That's disgusting. Okay, so yeah, the jimping is a saw. I don't know if that's a feature. I don't think that's a feature. You know what? I'm going to look on Blade HQ and see if SOG is SOG. I've been so good about saying SOG in this review, by the way. Just want to be acknowledged for that. You're welcome, SOG. SOG, damn it. You know what? Whatever. I give up. So Blade HQ makes no mention of this knife having a saw feature, which I'm not sure if that's good or bad. I think that's really bad that the jimping is not intended to be a saw, but works as a saw. But it's also kind of good that they weren't advertising this as a saw, because that's just a stupid idea, right? So either way, it's a lose-lose. Also, I realize that the red version of this knife, they call it the garnet version. That makes me mad. That makes me frustrated. Garnet's my birthstone. I love garnets. This rock right here is full of all kinds of garnets. There's a garnet. I love garnets. Here's a garnet I found this, or a bunch of garnets I found this past weekend in the field. Focus up, camera. There's a big one there, big one right there. In this pretty cool rock, there's some little tiny ones. And then I found this rock that also has a bunch of little red garnets in it. They're so freaking cute. Anyways, again, every excuse to not talk about this piece of crap. Okay, so yeah, the ergonomics are atrocious. The pocket clip. Okay, let's talk about the pocket clip. So this is called the cash card, which, by the way, that's a stupid freaking name. But I guess it's called the cash card because, it's supposed to be like a money clip, right? So you can put your cash in here, you can put your cards in here, whatever. Do I have any cash lying around? I don't, because I'm broke AF. But I guess the clip works in that regard. Like, I guess, I don't know. It's got SOG's annoying branding all over it. It does carry really well. I guess that's a positive. This knife is super thin, so if you're someone that, really cares about saving every single ounce, maybe you would like this. I hope not, but maybe. Um, yeah, what a stupid name. Cash card? Cash card? I guess it's, because this thing's supposed to hold cards and cash, but why didn't they call it like the cash clip or the card knife, the cash knife? I don't know. Cash card just seems like a really stupid freaking name, and it makes me mad. Um, what else is there even to say? I really don't know what else to say about this little piece of junk. The ergo suck. The action sucks. I mean, look at this lockup. That is 105%. The pocket clips the over travel stop. That's clever. Not. I do not like this Sam I Am. I do not like green eggs and ham. This knife is trash. And here's the worst part. SOG wants $30+ for this. I'm going to let that sink in. $30+. I think these are going for like $30 to $35. All the places I saw. No. Bad SOG. Bad SOG. No one. Even if this was a $10 knife, I wouldn't really recommend this to anyone. Honestly, and look, this is going to shock you guys. This is going to shock you guys. If someone comes up to me and says, hey, I'm thinking about buying a SOG cash card, what do you think? I'll slap them in the face and say, please, go get your brain checked. And instead of buying this, why don't you go and get a Gerber paraframe? I know, shocking, but this is a much, and even my Gerber paraframe that sometimes doesn't lock up. I guess it's locked up today. Yeah, this Gerber mini paraframe is a much better knife than this is, and you can get these for like $10 a lot of the time. Very similar aesthetic. Wow, they're like magnetized to each other right now. That's disturbing. No, I don't want you guys making any horrendous babies. Oh my gosh. Oh. I feel gross just thinking about it. Yeah, but yeah, paraframe is better than this, and that is not saying much. Yeah, I just don't know why you would ever want this. Who would ever want this? Who could ever use this? Who would ever need this? Why does this exist? Yeah, it's pretty terrible, guys. This might be. I was gonna say this could be the worst knife I've ever reviewed, but I actually think the Gerber Rip Snort is still the worst knife I've ever reviewed. And for those of you that don't remember, I reviewed the Gerber Rip Snort, I don't know, 2 years ago, and I hated that knife so much that I blew it up with a shotgun during the review. So, maybe this knife will meet the same. No, we're not gonna blow this guy up with a shotgun today, at least, because I've got other things to do after this. But now I'm thinking about it, I really kind of want to. Maybe we'll make another video where I execute this knife. But yeah, so there's the SOG cash card. Do I recommend it? Hell no, brother. No. Just stay away from this thing. Stay away from this thing. I really don't know what you would want this for. If you're really, really looking for a money clip knife, honestly, brands like M-Tech and other gas station-esque brands, they make money clip knives that you can get for $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10. Do not spend $30 on this knife, please. I'll tell you how much. When I was a kid, I remember seeing this knife in Bud K catalogs. And even back then, when I was a dumb 16-year-old, I thought, wow, that looks really freaking stupid. And yeah, after getting this in hand and testing it and using it, I'll be honest with you guys, I carried this knife for like just a couple of days. I couldn't stand it. But yeah, it's even worse than I could have ever imagined. So there we go. Thank you again to Old Tom the Guy for sending it to the channel. I'm pretty sure he was trying to poison me with cringe with that knife. But speaking of Old Tom the Guy, thank you to my channel members. They're right here. These are my members at the cowboy level. They're awesome. If you want to be a member, click the button below. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, comment below, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Gideon, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.